All right, good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Indian Cree, and Dakota peoples, and then national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Neil Harden. I'm chairing today's panel. With me are Harvey Diamond and Richard Whitbread. The assessor today is Pradeep Kaur Pawar, and the administrative personnel is Fran Picato. We will be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we'll limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We'll then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions the applicant may have, then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You'll receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1 through 4 and 6 to 8 on our docket today. Ms. Picato, please affirm the assessor's and applicant's testimony.
Assessor, please state your full name. Pradeep Kaur Pawar. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Marcelo Navarro.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The first property on the agenda today is 453 Dover Court Drive. So, Madam Assessor, you can begin.
Yeah, thank you. File number 244528. Address is 453 Dovercourt Drive. Business assessment ID is 28180. Owner is Manitoba Hydro. Total annual rental value is 611,100. Total area of all premises is 36,440 square feet. Overall ARV per square feet is $16.77. With the premises ID 24163, has a base ARV per square feet is $14.07. With the total occupancy cost of $98,388, annual rental value is $611,100. This subject is owner occupied, and I would like board to maintain the 2025 ARV of $611,100. On the page number 2, I have the description of the realty of this property. It has number of stories. One total gross floor area is 63,319. And on the bottom of the page number 2, I have the income and expense mailer screenshot shows that it is fully owner occupied. Page number 3, I have the pictures of the subject property that the front is facing the Dovercourt Drive. And page number 4, I have the realty appeal decision where it says the decision is based on the evidence presented by the Assessment and Taxation Department. So page number 5, I have the rent comparables which we presented in the realty appeals. So the mean for those rent comparable is $16 and the median 16.25. And up to the page number 8, I have the pictures of those rent comparables. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Applicant?
Sorry. No, I do not have any questions.
Okay, Mr. Diamond, questions?
No, Mr. Chair, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Mr. Whitbread? I think you may be muted.
Sorry. I'm just looking to see if there are any. Yes, there they are on page 5, your comparables.
Yes.
What type of businesses are these? Do you know?
So I have the photos there. They all are the OFS. So the very first property is like a consulting company. And the second comparable is the Department of Family Services. It has I think 2 units, and both are in my comparables. And the fourth one, Waverly, is also kind of Alliance of Manitoba Sector Council Incorporation. It's under Accurate Alarm. So basically, they all are OFS.
And this company, Tallman International, do you know what they do? Oh, sorry, this is Hydro, isn't it? Sorry. So this is Hydro. Do you know what goes on in this particular business?
Honestly speaking, I don't know much about that property.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I have no other questions.
Right, and I have no questions, so Mr. Applicant, you can begin.
Okay, we are looking at 453 Dover Court, and this is business roll number 28180, file number 244528. On page 2, you can see a summary of the business assessment information and the applicable legislation on page 3. On page 4, you can see the property. This is a Manitoba housing property. I believe it's just office in there. And you can see the general area that it's located in, which is it's an industrial park. So for the comparisons on page 6, we were taking comparisons with the designation OFS, which means office suburban. Now, office suburban in some cases can mean not just suburban offices, it can mean offices of a certain height. As you saw in the assessor's comparisons, one is located directly in the downtown. I believe that's 114 Gary Street, which houses Manitoba Families Department. So I believe, I'm not sure what the trigger is, whether it's 3 stories or 2 stories, but anything under that is considered suburban, whether it's in the downtown or not. So we used a rent of $13.50 per square foot. And you see on page 7 what the rounded annual rental value we have is at $593.40. We also do recognize that this decision was confirmed for the realty, so we did include that in there, and it clearly states that it was based on the assessor's evidence. So I am open for questions.
Okay, any questions,
Yeah.
Madam Assessor? Do you have any questions, Madam Assessor?
Oh, I don't have any questions.
Okay, Mr. Whitbread?
Do you know what the rental rate was on that property in realty, Mr. Navarro?
I believe I just took what was there. So I believe $13.50 was it.
Thank you. No other questions.
Mr. Diamond?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, and I have no questions either, so Thank you very much. Let's move on to our next property, which is Unit 1, 582 King Edward.
Can I begin?
Yep.
File number 244636. Address is 1582 King Edward Street. Business assessment ID is 35687. Business name is the Robinson Group. The owner is B.A. Robinson Co. Limited. Total annual rental value is 231,420. With the total area of all premises is 13,564 square feet. Overall ARV per square feet is $17.06. Premises ID 295217 has the base ARV per square feet $14.36, with the total occupancy cost of 36,623, becomes the annual rental value of 231,420. So this subject is also owner occupied. I would like board to maintain the 2025 ARV of 231,420. Page number 2, I have the description of the property. It is 1 to 2 stories with the gross floor area is 32,681. Bottom of the page shows the income and expense. Miller screenshot shows that it is fully owner occupied. Page number 3, I have the pictures of the subject property. That subject is in between King Edward and Berry Street. And page number 4, I have the rent comparables with the mean of $17.06, and the median is also same. From page number 4 up to the page number 8, I have the pictures of those comparables. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Questions, Mr. Navarro?
No, I have no questions.
Okay, Mr. Diamond?
I have no questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Whitbread?
I have none, thanks.
Okay, so Mr. Navarro, you can begin then.
Okay, this is Unit 1582 King Edward Street. Business roll number 35687 and file number 244636. The ownership is B.A. Robinson Company Limited. And you can see the rest of the information on page 2 in terms of the assessment summary. Applicable legislation on page 3, the premise description on page 4, and on page 5 you can see our market rent that we have for this property. We are using a rent of $13.75 per square foot, and we are asking for an annual rental value of $223,140. I'll note that this property was not contested in the realty, so I'm actually not sure whether it was appealed or not, or whether we have the realty under our purview. So, but we do the business assessment. So there's no order on this. I'm open for questions.
Okay, any questions, Madam Assessor?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Whitbread?
I have nothing, thanks.
And Mr. Diamond?
Mr. Navarro, I noticed that your comparisons range from a high of $19 to a low of $11.50. Have you seen? Do you know any of these properties? We don't have photographs, whereas we do have some photographs of the comparisons used by the assessment department. So please tell us properties.
They are all office buildings, obviously in suburban areas. I can't tell you exactly how many stories they have, but in terms of the information, we do include the leasable area, the effective age, the address, but no, I don't know exactly what the condition is or how many stories the building has in terms of comparisons.
Okay, but you have used your rent is pretty well close to what between your median and your average. Okay, Thank you.
All right, and I have no questions. So let's move on to 535 Pan. Let me just. So 535 Panet Road, you can begin, Madam Assessor.
File number 245003. Address is Unit 1535 Barrett Road. Business assessment ID is 54762. Owners are H. Tellman International Incorporation. Total annual rental value is 127,800. Total area of all premises is 7,552 square feet. Overall ARV per square feet is $16.92. With the premises ID 8624, the base ARV per square feet is $14.58. With the total occupancy cost of 17,672, becomes the annual rental value of 127,800. This lease is also owner occupied, although the system does not generate it. But on the page number 2, the screenshot of income and expense memo shows that it is fully owner occupied. So I would like board to maintain the 2025 ARV of 127,800. On the page number 2, on the top part, it shows that it is a one-story building with the total gross floor area is 11,478 square feet. Page number 3 have the pictures of the subject property. And the page number 3 at the bottom, there are the 4 rent comparables with the mean of $17.63 and the median is $17.75. From page number 4 up to the page number 7, I have the pictures of those rent comparables. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Mr. Navarro?
I do have a couple at least. The comparison number 2 that you have at 215 Day Yvernant Boulevard. This is a purpose-built daycare, is it not?
Yeah, it is a daycare. I think I have the pictures too. Living Prairie Childcare Incorporation, yes.
Okay, so I mean, is that really an office building?
It is classified in our system as OFS. Daycares are under the office buildings.
Okay, but this is a daycare, it was built as a daycare.
Yes,
Okay, okay. And then the comparison that you have on page 3, sorry, on page 6 of 8, 1530 Taylor Avenue. Is this not kind of like a retail location?
I do understand it is like a retail location, but it's still because these are units as a OFS, so that's why it is in the office category. And specifically, the unit number 1 is a Broadway Network Incorporation that is also under OFS. The comparable
Okay.
like choose.
Okay. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Mr. Diamond?
Yes, Ms. Power, do you know what is actually carried on at these premises as insofar as the business is concerned?
I have no idea about that.
Okay, so it's office though, not retail?
It is office. It is classified under office. I can understand there is empty cup as well, but that owners are registered as the OFS, like office building.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
That's
Mr.
my questions.
Whitbread? Mr. Whitbread?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, if you turn to your page 3, then the end of the building, it seems to be a coffee shop called Empty Cup. That's not the portion that's under appeal here. It's a separate roll
Yeah,
number,
it
is
is
it?
separate and it is not under appeal.
Okay, so it's just the other part, which is
Just out of 11,478 square feet, only the 7,552 is under appeal.
okay. Thank you very much for that then. All right, so Mr. Navarro, you can begin.
Okay. So what we have here is Unit 1, 535 Bennett Road, business roll number 54762, and file number 245003. On page 2, you can see the business assessment summary. We are asking for requested assessment of 108,300. On page 3, the applicable legislation. On page 4, you can see the general location. This used to be, I believe it still is actually Warehouse 1. There are offices here, but this used to be, I believe, a retail location. And it's not specifically built as an office property. So on page 5, you can see the samples of properties that we did use, which are all office built properties. So the rent that we've chosen for this is $12 per square foot, obviously reflecting what it is, which is not a purpose-built office property. On page 6, you can see the rounded value at 108,300. And I'm open for questions.
Okay, questions, Ms. Power?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Whitburn?
I have nothing, thanks.
Mr. Diamond?
Mr. Navarro, on page 5, you're indicating that you conclude that the market rent can be no more than $12 per foot. But I'm looking at your comparables, and they have an average rent of $13.41 and a median rent of $14.50. So how did you make that conclusion?
Well, I think you probably heard in my statement that this was not a purpose-built office property. And so I think the rent would reflect that. Whereas in the purpose-built office properties, generally rents tend to be higher. So what I'm saying is that the rent would be slightly higher for this location, simply because of the location and what it is, which is a former retail kind of industrial building.
Okay. So basically your conclusion is not based on your evidence then. It's based on your conjecture.
Yeah, I mean, it would be at the lower end of the scale of the comparisons that I have there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'm just looking at your comparison. It's, I tell you, it's kind of difficult when the city's rental rate seems to fall in the middle of your comparables. I understand your argument that this is not purpose built, but many flex warehouses are converted to offices and as used as offices as well. Can you expand on your reasoning a little bit more?
Well, what I would say is that generally the fit and finish, so the tenant improvements that are put into these properties, in general tends to be inferior to the improvements that you see in office built properties. Not in all cases, but what I would say is that this is an older type of industrial flex property or retail flex. So I mean, it's my position that the rent probably would be lower. That's all I can say about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Next property is 650 Camielsis Street. That's a unique name. I'd like to know the background of that name. So you can begin. I understand Mr. Navarro will be requesting confirmation on this one. So if you
Correct.
can just lead us quickly through the evidence there, Ms. Bauer.
File number 244665, address is 650 Camilson Street, Business assessment ID is 41877. Owners are the Canada Life Assurance Company. Total annual rental value is 854,580. Total area of all premises is 56,704 square feet. Overall ARV per square feet is $15.07. It has the two premises ID 33524, 33525, and the premises area 8,000 and 48,704. With the base ARV per square feet is $13.78 and $12.14. With the total occupancy cost of 21,600 and 131,501, becomes annual rental value of 854,580. This subject is owner occupied. I would like board to confirm 2025 ARV of 854,580. This premises is a this property is 2 stories and the gross floor area is 56,704 and all the gross floor area is under a B. This is fully owner occupied based on the income and expense mailer screenshot. Page number 3, I have the pictures of the subject property as well as on the page number 4. At the bottom of the page number 4, I have the rent comparables. Out of these 6 comparable, the mean is $16.08 and the median is also the same. From page number 4 to page number 8, I have the pictures of those rent comparables. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Navarro?
No questions.
Okay, Mr. Whitbread, questions? Mr. Diamond?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Navarro, your presentation, please.
We are asking for confirmation.
All right. Any questions arising from that, Ms. Powers?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from the panel on that?
No questions, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me just open up then the last 3 files. Okay, so the next property is 1001 St. Mary's Road.
File number 253, address is 1001 St. Mary's Road. Business assessment ID is 57911. Business name is Stanback Credit Union. Owners are Stanback Credit Union Limited. Total annual rental value is 127,800. Total area of all premises is 6,483 square feet. Overall ARV per square feet is $19.71. With the premises ID 31724 has a base ARV per square feet is $17.01 with the total occupancy cost of $17,504 becomes annual rental value of 127,800. This subject is not owner occupied. Subject reported lease as per the income and expense mailer shows that they are paying $32.88 for the 4,566 square feet. With the lease start in 1st May 2009 for the 15 years. I would like board to confirm the 2025 ARV of 127,800. Page number 2, I have the description of the property. It is 1-story property and the number of premises are 2 with the gross floor area is 13,311. Out of that, only 6,483 is under abuse. Page number 2 and page number 3 have the pictures of the subject property. And the bottom of the page number 3, I have the same rent comparable I presented in the last property with the mean of $16.08 and the median is same. From page number 4 up to the page number 7, I have the pictures of those rent comparables. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Mr. Navarro?
I have no questions.
Okay, Mr. Diamond,
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Whitbread?
Yes, just one. Can we assume there's no realty decision on this? You don't have a board order?
It was not under appeal, I think.
Thank you. No other questions.
Oh, is this used as an office or is it used as a credit union branch?
It is classified under the CMF of like an office building.
Okay. So you don't know if they do retail banking here or not?
They might do, but I have not inspected properly that property. But that classified under office category.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, and the rental, 3288, that's a gross rent, I see, is it?
Sorry, what you was asking?
You said there's a rent in place, 3288, but its rent is a gross rent, is it not?
According to my knowledge, it is the net rent.
Okay, on your page one,
Oh,
though,
sorry, it is
says-
written there, rent type is gross.
yes, okay, thank you very much. So Mr. Navarro, your presentation then.
Yes. So I actually believe we have the wrong rent here. So I noticed that the space is 6,483 square feet. And that is the space dedicated to Steinbeck Credit Union. And I believe that the assessor mentioned that there was a rent of 3288, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah, that would be the rent for infrastructure and transportation. That would be the space of 4,566 square feet. So I think we're talking about the wrong rent. However, I do note that there was an update on this rent, which I missed. So the rent is actually higher than what I have in my brief. So it wouldn't make sense for me to actually go on any further. So I will be asking for a confirmation.
okay. All right, thank you very much. Any questions, Ms. Powell?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Whitbread?
Just a point on page 7, Mr. Navarro. You look like you've used a dated occupancy cost there. They're all incorrect. They don't add up to 270, they add up to 250.
Yes, I believe you're right. I believe those are the 2023 figures.
Yeah, so your new occupancy cost should be something around 17,504, same as the city.
Correct.
But notwithstanding that, it doesn't matter because you've confirmed anyway.
Okay, Mr. Diamond?
No questions, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and Mr. Whitbread stole my thunder here. I noticed that they.
I do, I would.
That's a disadvantage of going last for your chair.
Yeah, yep, okay.
The two math guys.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to one Dr. David Friesen Drive. Just it's gonna take me longer to write the name then. Okay, so Ms.
File
Power.
number, yep, file number 245099. Address is 1 Dr. David Friesen Drive. Business assessment ID is 3365. Owners are Qualico Developments Limited. Total annual rental value is 1,723,440. With the total area of all premises is 65,033 square feet. Overall ERV per square feet is $26.50. It has three premises ID 32295, 32296, 32297, with the premises area of 25,386, 19,899, 19,748. Base ARV per square foot is 2346, 24 1 cent, 2403. With the total occupancy cost, annual rental value is 1,723,440. This subject is owner occupied. I would like board to reduce the 2025 ARV from 1,723,440 to 1,606,380. I will explain the reasoning later in my presentation. Page number 2, I have the description about this property. Has 3-story building, leasable area 65,033 square feet, which all is under appeal. Page number 3, I have the pictures of the subject property as well as the page number 4. Page number 5, I have the decision of the realty appeal where it's written that the decision is based on the recommendation presented by the assessment and taxation department. In the realty appeal, assessor recommend $22 net base rent. So based on that, on the page number 6, I have the calculation for all 3 premises area, which shows the revised ARV is 1,606,380. And page number 7, I have the 3 rent comparables with the mean of $21.88 and the median is $21.86. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, Mr. Navarro, how do you feel about the recommendation?
Mr. Chair, we appealed the realty to the municipal board because we weren't satisfied with the rent. So we'll just keep challenging the rent in this case.
Okay, I thought you might, given that was still quite considerably higher than your
Yeah.
valuation. All right, so any questions, Mr. Navarro?
Yes, actually, Ms. Parwar, I noticed that this was specifically broken down into 3 economic units or 3 premise areas.
Yes.
Now, this property is one economic unit. So can you explain why this was done? Because it looks like in that case, for the smaller areas, the model would automatically come up with a higher rent per square foot simply by breaking this down into smaller units.
Okay, so because the property is a 3-story building, so although the same business assessment ID is in overall the building, but we need to classify premises area associated to the particular story, like a floor. Like if it is a 3-story, then we need to divide that 3-story into our system. So I do understand the base ARV per square feet is different. That's why I am recommending $22 based on the realty appeal assessor recommend to make it on the one level rent for all 3 stories.
Okay. So Ms. Carr, we had a previous property at 453 Dover Court where that property was more than 1 story, but yet you only included 1 premise area.
That 453 is the number of stories are 1, but in this one number of stories are 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but you do acknowledge that this is 1 occupant occupying the entire building, correct?
Yeah, yes, I do understand.
Okay.
That's why
all
my
I-
new recommendation is overall $22 for all the premises, not like 22, 24 or something. My calculations are also shows that we choose only one rent of $22 for all 3 premises.
Okay, that's my question.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Diamond, questions?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Whitbread?
Yes, I'd just like to refer back to that discussion. The first property we dealt with, you're indicating a 1-story building. But when I look at your photo on page 3, That's not a one-story building. That looks like a three-story building to me.
For that Manitoba Hydro one,
Yeah,
yeah, in our system, it shows number of stories, one, number of buildings, two, number of premises, three. So basically, I searched that property. We have overall 3 pits for that property. 2 more vacant pit, out of that, one is in under appeal.
Have
So
you
I
been-
only,
have you been to the property?
no, I haven't been to.
Okay, so when you say number of stories is 1, that's incorrect when I look at that photo.
Yeah, if we see the pictures, we can say that, because from this picture, I can see there is a, clearly shows that it is more than 1 story.
Yes,
Yeah,
So
but that's how it is.
that's different than the answer you gave Mr. Navarro then.
Yep.
You said it was a 3-story. Okay, thank you. Bear with me just for 1 more minute, please. And so I think I heard you say this is resolved at Realty on behalf of the assessor at $22 a foot, but it is being appealed by the applicant.
Yes,
Yes?
right. You said that.
Thank you. Okay, I have no other questions. Oh, I do. Sorry, Mr. Chair. Just a question about your comps.
Yes,
Bear with me. I have to find this. Go back into this. Oh boy, here we are.
Page 7, I believe, yeah.
If I look at the size of your comps against the property we're looking at, this property has what, 65,000 square feet?
yes.
And your comps are all under 5,000, or one of them is above 5,000, but under 10. How do you rationalize the difference in size?
Okay, so I try to firstly search in the same NCA, which I could not able to find it out. Then I expand my search with the premises area, could be nearby, but unfortunately the data does not allow me to search the comparables. So then I focused on the rent, like $22 we are recommending. Based on that, my third search was showing me these comparables. So that is very hard for me to search the exact 65,000 or nearby that premises area, or even 20,000 to 25,000 premises area. It's hard for me to search the comparables in system from the available data I have it.
Okay, thanks for that. No other questions, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and I have no questions, so Mr. Navarro, your presentation, please.
Okay, so we have 1 Dr. David Friesen Drive. You can see the summary on page 2, the applicable legislation on page 3, an overhead picture on page 4. This is the headquarters for Qualico. They are the only occupant, and it was specifically built for them. On page 5, you can see the comparisons that we looked at. So what we tried to do was find the larger tenancies in the suburban areas. And we went through basically everyone that we had access to. So there are some that are highlighted there in green. However, on page 6, you can see the commentary there. The above comparisons, we used a $17.80 per square foot rent. And we used a 16 in this. That's actually incorrect. We should have actually applied a $17.80 per square foot rent, which was what we applied in the realty. And I put a 16 rent on this. So the rent should actually, the estimated base rent should actually be $1,157,587 if I'm being consistent with what we submitted in the realty. The occupancy costs are I'm sorry, I'm just quickly going to, if you just give me a second here.
You get a final ARV of 1,333,200.
I trust you. I'm going to go through the calculation.
Trust but verify.
Yeah. So I get 133,200.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's the rounded value. So that's with an estimated base rent of 1,157,587, equivalent to 1780 per square foot. Now, how did I get that rent of 1780 per square foot? Well, the only comparison that comes to mind in this set of 25 or 26 comparable properties is the top one at 365 Osborne Street. Now, I was told that that property actually is not in as good condition as the subject show. The increase, I mean, I think we added an increase in the rent, and that would have accounted for any differences in condition. But in terms of age and size, they're very much comparable. And some would view 365 Osborne as being, more centrally located. But we also do have some others in there. For example, 14 Fultz is 25,600 square feet. That is at 2201. 900 Lorimer, that's 11,979 square feet. That's $21. And also 1661 Portage, that's 11,483 square feet at $14 per square foot. Now, you can see that for the newer buildings, the sizes are considerably smaller. So we're talking about an overall size of 65,000 square feet versus some comparisons that are in the 25 in the 20 to 25,000 square foot range. So there is a sizable difference. There would be a difference in terms of the rent. That is the disagreement that I had with the original decision, is that you can't break it apart. I mean, this is a single occupant building. So we're of the opinion that it would have a lower overall rent per square foot. That's why we've applied the rent that we have. So I'm open for questions.
Okay, questions, Ms. Power?
Oh, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Whitbread,
I have none, thank you.
Mr. Diamond.
Yeah, well, Mr. Navarro, this property was built for, I guess, by Qualico for their own occupation.
Yes.
And I would imagine, I haven't been there, and I don't know if you have, but it would assume that if they're building it for themselves, I know they're good builders, they have that reputation. And if they're going to occupy it themselves, I'm sure that it's probably second to none as far as finishing is concerned.
Yeah, it's
So
a
that's the
good,
outside.
it's a nice property.
Yeah. And I know it's hard. I look at your comparables and the newer ones, like on Fultz and Larimore, all have rents of 22, 21. 20, I know that those are for smaller occupancies, but I don't think those buildings are as nice as the Qualico building. It's larger, so it's a difficult one. But I don't know how you got your 1780 from your comparables.
That's an average of 1780.
It is 1780. That's what you use though,
Yeah.
as well in your final. Well, you conclude it's no more than $16. So that's basically because you're saying even though it's a super class building that's finished for perfection to be occupied by somebody who's got a reputation of being a really good builder, but because of the I guess the volume or the amount of the occupancy, how large it is, you're assuming that $16 is a fair market rent. Well, you did increase it. I'm sorry, you did increase it.
1780.
Yeah. Something. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you could answer my question better.
Okay, and I have no questions. So let's move on to our last property is 1425 Main Street.
File number 244585. Address is 1425 Main Street. Business assessment ID is 50249. Business name is Red River Co-op. Owners are Red River Cooperative Limited. Total annual rental value is 47,820. With the total area of all premises is 3,514. Overall ARV per square feet is $13.61. Premises ID 16911 has a base ARV per square feet is $10.91, with a total occupancy cost of $9,488. Against the annual rental value of 47,820. This is owner occupied, and I would like board to maintain the 2025 ARV of 47,820. Page number 2 have the description of the property. It is one-story building with the total gross floor area is 6,708, and it is fully owner occupied. Page number 3, I have the pictures of the subject property as well as on the page number 4. My rent comparables has a mean of $15.94 and the median is $13.87. And from page number 5 up to the page number 8, I have the pictures of those comparables. So that is the end of my presentation. Any questions are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Mr. Navarro?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Diamond,
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Whitbread?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, see, it's Red River Co-op. Is this the picture shows co-op pharmacy and it's not the pharmacy, is it? That would be a retail use, would it not?
It is under our CMF office category. I'm not sure if they are retail or if they have only the offices there, because I have not inspected the property.
Okay, it's a medical office and it's classified as. Okay, all right. Mr. Navarro, you can begin then.
Actually, Mr. Chair, I reviewed this after I submitted, and I'm satisfied that the assessment, the annual rental value is actually fair. So I'm asking for confirmation.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Any questions, Ms. Bauer?
No, I don't have any question. Thank you.
Mr. Whitbread?
No questions.
Mr. Diamond?
No questions, thank you.
All right, so we've heard all properties on today's agenda, and this hearing is now concluded. Thank you very much for your capable presentations as usual.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, 5-minute break in
Sure.
order? Thank you.
Sure, that's good.